Good day all. It's 9:15 on what they tell us is the 19th of September 2025. This is the Self-Preservation Society. I'm Basil, broadcasting truth and therapy, and here I am using the talking stick. And before I go any further, very much a personal thing, I would like to acknowledge the life of a very dear friend of mine, True Kent, Andrew Wilcox, who passed away on the 21st of September a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And he had a tremendous impact on my life. One of the nicest souls I've met through the internet. And I'd just like to remember him and acknowledge him. And I know you're listening, Drew, and I know you're continuing what you done when you was here. And although I'm remembering you this day, you're in my thoughts all the time. Such was the impact you had on my life and the resonance I felt with you on a soul level. You'll never be forgotten, my friend. Anyway, onward and forward, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to pay particular attention to that meme on the left there, because many of you fall for it. You say you're awake, but you're controlled by the mind and a program, as evident last weekend in London. The numbers vary from 100,000 to over 1 million. But what did you achieve? Carrying the flags of your masters, showing allegiance to their country. It's not your country, it's their country. They created it, they named it, they own it, they control it, and you, thinking you're awake, think you can claim it back. Me, I'm not so small-minded as that. It is the earth and the universe, indeed, that I want to claim back. That's my goal. That's why I do what I do here. I don't want to control your mind. I want to appeal to your conscious state of awareness and knowing. Carlos Castaneda called it the predator mind that come into this universe to harvest the energy, frequency and vibration of this one verse, one, this one word. And the deeper I go into it and think about it, the more I can see how successful that predator mind is. You're still being played because you're dominated by your ego and your mind. Even those that say they're spiritually awakened to what? The non-physical version of your mind and your ego. You've got to transcend all that, people. You've got to transcend all that. You've got to be a receiver for all that was, is, and will be. You've got to transcend it all. You've got to see the ego and the mind for what it is. And until you do, you are being played. Lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels. You're being played. So those numbers that went into London at the weekend, I ask you again, what did you achieve? Did you go into the square mile and chase out all those servants of the 13 families, the Committee of 300, all those civil servants, did you chase out and bring charges upon the Keir Starmers and this, that and the other? Did you seek to finish the job that Guy Fawkes started and was stopped? If you didn't do any of that, you achieved nothing. Absolutely nothing. Jack shit. And only your ego will tell you otherwise. Fighting for a flag that is not yours. The flag of St. George's for you Englishmen. Who the fucking hell St. George? Somebody your masters told you to worship. Like St. Andrew, or St. David, or St. Patrick, or somebody, don't matter who it is, somebody you were told to worship. You've achieved nothing. If all you want is your country back, then you're just dancing to the tune of your masters. If you can't see that we have to bring the earth back into balance, and in doing so, or in order to do so, we have to bring ourselves back into balance, you'll never achieve anything. You'll just be that perpetual puppet on a string, dancing to the tune of those that control you and manipulate and own your mind and dominate your ego. I've put these two memes up because I have seen evidence where Charlie Kirk was questioning Israel. And it may well be that he was killed because of that. But not by that bloke on the roof. Look at that camera. Wouldn't it be crazy if the real weapon was built into this and right in front of him the whole time? Just like with Kennedy, you were all told it was a bloke leaning out of a window, when evidence shows that it was somebody in the front of the car, the very car he was in. You got to stop getting fixated on the first thing that comes and be prepared to question. You've got to be prepared to question. And most of you ain't, because you're so programmed. It's a great shame. But however, I see it for what it is, and the power of that which controls you. That's how I see it. The power of that which controls us. Even when someone like me, and I'm not as anywhere near the class of someone like Max Eigen, who breaks these things down like he did with the New Zealand shooting, this, that and the other. And the hate and vitriol he got for that, because he was willing to question. Many of you ain't. You get an idea stuck in your head, and your ego will not allow you to let go of it, and your mind will perpetuate and seek out anything that validates your thoughts. You won't go beyond that because you're not consciously aware to all that was, is, and will be. And so they have you fighting each other. Fighting each other. I want you to listen to this. Hold on a sec. Facebook is running a bit slow because I've got my OBS opened. Oh, come on. When it does load, it's going to really challenge you. If it loads, it's going to really challenge you. Don't look like it's going to load. Not surprised. But I'll just go on a little bit about the events of last weekend and your new hero. Albert Pike said, "When they need a hero, we will supply it." And for many of you today, it's Tommy Robson. He's not my hero. The only heroes I may ever have are those that seek to understand, to resonate with universal and natural law, and to resonate with that and to speak that, which is what I try to do here. But if there were all these numbers there at the weekend, there was a golden opportunity to bring down that which enslaves us. But many of you are not ready to do that. You're not ready to bring that down because you're in fear. Total and abject fear of what could happen if you didn't have the comfort blanket of the system that enslaves you. How would you eat? So dependent upon that system. How would you eat? You might die if you didn't have that system to support you, because you don't know how to support yourself. Life skills. Grow your own food. Build your own shelter. And they know this. And so you dance to their tune. Because they've got you lock, stock and two smoking barrels. These in the seen and the unseen, the heard and the unheard. It's really interesting for me when I see it for what it is. When I step outside of the self to observe the self and that which we call reality. It's not my reality. It's not my reality at all. It's something that I'm living in, but I don't live in it. I exist in it, and so do you. I have the conscious awareness and knowing to see that, and I seek to change it. And its impact and power and hold over me. Not many of you are ready to do that. In spite of your rhetoric and all your intentions, your words, your deeds, your actions, you're not ready to do it because you're in fear of your own power. Ultimately, that's what it is. You're in fear of your own power. You have no understanding of your own power, and so you're in fear of it. In fear of that thing called death. I've died many times during this lifetime, this incarnation. I realise that now. I've died many times, and I'm here to tell the tale. Recently, over this end of this summer, went through a terrible, terrible experience, but I'm here to tell the tale. I come through it. Intestinal fortitude, sense of awareness and knowing, and the help of some very good friends, and the help of those in the unseen. Been through a terrible experience towards the end of this summer. Died another death, an ego death. Awakened to another level of consciousness that I didn't know I had. And I'm here to tell the tale. Yes, I would lie. Be lying to you if I didn't say and acknowledge that there was a component of fear. But I've faced that fear and come out the other side of it. And you can do that too. But you've got to want to do it. You've got to remember who and what you are, and be prepared to change from what you thought you was, what you think you are. Perhaps I'm not meant to play that. Perhaps I'm not meant to play it what I wanted to. I've got it up again.
When you look at the Nephilim, yeah, when the Nephilim die, their spirits can't go anywhere. So they're
Try again. Sorry for this.
But white, when you look at the Nephilim, yeah, when the Nephilim die, their spirits can't go anywhere. So they're literally cursed to wander around the earth as evil spirits or demons or whatever. So the word white actually comes from an Anglo-Saxon word, and it means creature, spirit, demon. I was just trolling through this Anglo-Saxon dictionary. So up here, up the top, etymology, the word white, yeah, demon, thing, creature, demon, is basically telling you about who the Nephilim were. But again, I was looking through the Anglo-Saxon dictionary, and look at this at the bottom. Can you see down at the bottom left? Yeah. The Anglo-Saxon word. White, Satan, inhabitants of the Isle of Wight.
We're speechless here, man.
Yeah, they literally swapped the words around. They put the word black on us, so that those negative connotations that come with it, you know, are applied to us. The word white, when you look at the Nephilim, yeah, when...
I love etymology and looking out the original meaning of words, and so should you. And I'm coming to the growing awareness that the white race, of which I am part of, is not natural to this world. Indeed, what is? Wherever I look, it is genetic modification is there. You see it today. Surely you see it today. And I'm of the firm and utter conviction that the first Homo sapiens sapiens, of which I am one, were black. Were black. And everything mimicking those that created us, of course, you know that. And all the different races have come from that black race, from that genetic modification, from that black race, genetically modified to serve an agenda. It's interesting, I'd done a upload 3 or 4 years back. The white man is the greatest slave because it is him that has gone at his master's behest to rape and pillage the world. And yes, the white European went to the Americas, what we know as the Americas, to different parts of Asia, to Australia, to rape and pillage. The evidence is there. And, you know, we moan when people from those countries come to ours. You've got to really, really have some sense of conscious awareness to even consider what I'm saying to you. You've got to really fight against your ego to think, to feel, to resonate with what I'm saying to you. And many of you won't be able to do it because you're so indoctrinated, so programmed to serve your masters, whoever your masters are, in the seen and the unseen, in the heard and the unheard. One of the things that's inspired me to come and speak today is I commented on a post of Jeremy Corbyn's. He's, as many of you know, the former Labour leader, kicked out of his own party for having Labour views, and then also being called an anti-Semitic, this, that, and the other, and the evidence is all there, should you wish to find it, to prove that that was unfounded. It's all there now, it's all come out, the truth always comes out in the end. But he's trying to start a new party. At the moment he calls it Your Party. Lots of people are signing up because he is a man of integrity. I've often said about Jeremy Corbyn, when his hands are dirty, it's because he's been in the garden, growing his own veg, this, that and the other. He's as near to one of us as any politician is today, certainly. But he was asking for ideas to set the constitution, this, that and the other, and all things like that. And I wrote, for me it's pretty simple. Man and woman pay no taxes. Only corporations, businesses pay taxes because they're the ones that seek to profit off man and woman. So they should pay for the privilege of doing so to keep the country going. Man and woman should be governed by the Magna Carta, the Bill of Rights, and businesses and corporations should be governed by acts and statutes set out by man and woman. What I omitted to put in that was money should be produced by man and woman, the Bradbury pound. Those of you that don't know what the Bradbury pound is, it's the last time our government in England ever really produced money. The same as the greenback in America, the last time the government of America ever produced money. Private corporations print it now. Out of thin air. Out of thin air. And they sell it to us. And we buy it. Because we don't know who we are. We don't know what they are. But anyway, that was my thing to Jeremy. Man and woman should be governed by common law and the Bill of Rights. And the term human being should be wiped out of the dictionary. You're either a man or woman or their offspring, or you're a business and corporation, or business or corporation. And if you're a corporation operating in any country, profiting from that country, then you pay the taxes of that country. To me, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Principles that are just and righteous. But somebody disagree with me because they want to profit off the energy, frequency and vibration of a man and woman, a naturally born man and woman. The only things also that should be registered are businesses and corporations. If you want to travel down the road in your private automotive vehicle, then you can do so as a man or a woman. If in doing so you cause harm, loss or injury to another by causing an accident, then you should recompense for the losses that man and woman have experienced by you causing an accident. Cause no harm, cause no loss, cause no injury. Quite simple. That's how men and women should live their life. It's quite simple. And businesses and corporations are the responsibility of the men and women that own and operate them. And they should be liable for any loss or damage to the earth and its inhabitants that their business or corporation causes. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. It's as simple as that. What else is there to bring to the table other than that? Adherence, adhere to, respect, resonate with universal and natural law, LORE in both cases, or common law, LAW, in this in the physical realm. And anybody or anything that seeks to profit and to cause harm, loss or injury of another sentient being then should pay a price for doing so. It's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be difficult at all. It doesn't have to be difficult at all. So Jeremy Corbyn, I very much doubt you listen to me, but if you're going to start this new party, then it must be founded on the principles laid down to King John by those 12 barons over 800 years ago. Those principles that were used in the American Constitution by the so-called Founding Fathers. The right to bear arms. We should all have the right to bear arms so we can rise up and use them against a government that forces you to account to them for the way you spend your money, but refuses to be accountable to you and on how they spend your money. I do not consent in any way, shape or form to my tax pounds being used to perpetuate the genocide in Gaza by the Israeli government. I do not consent to that. So government is not representing me at all. They're pursuing an agenda that seeks to imprison and control me, and so they must go. All of them. All of them, whether it be in England, Britain, France, Germany, they all must go. All of them. And they must be tried for their actions. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, and I'll never get bored of saying it. If these people are brought to task, and especially if they are soulless beings, they've already sold their soul, then I will be the Albert Pierpoint of the day. If they are tried in a common law court and they have been found guilty of causing harm, loss or injury to another, if the ultimate sentence is death, I'll be the Albert Pierpoint of the day. I will take on what many of you see as a karmic debt in order to restore a natural balance to this third dimensional reality, and the effects of which will go beyond to all other realities and dimensions. I'm not waiting for God to come and do it for me or anybody else. I'm waiting for us here to do it for us. And I'm willing to take on that so-called karmic debt in order that the people, the men, the women, and the souls incarnated here may live without fear, in peace and in love and in unity with each other, irrespective of their skin colour, their creed, their gender, irrespective of all of those things. So I say to you, to all of you that would hear, to all that would listen, to all that would see, to all that would watch. Here in the third dimension and beyond, I am willing to stand up and carry the cross for the rest of you. Carry that burden of karma. If those that cause harm, loss or injury are tried in a fair trial and found guilty, I don't care if it's Keir Starmer, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, the Director of Public Prosecutions, any of them, that are perpetuating this system of control and enslavement against all incarnated souls that come to this third dimensional reality. They are no more than just spiritual beings. They have no soul. They have no place in this universe, in this third dimensional reality. I will stand if they are found guilty. I'm not waiting for God. I'm not waiting for Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Jesus, Uncle Tom fucking Cobley. I'm waiting for my fellow man, my fellow woman, to wake up, smell the coffee, and take the appropriate action that frees them individually, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to the true conscious self, and then comes together and frees the whole of mankind. When you're ready, call me. But if you're going to call me swearing allegiance to your country, then don't bother. Don't bother calling me. If you see the greater picture, swear allegiance to the earth and to the universe and all its dimensions outside of your vision, your hearing, your knowing, your senses, then call me. Until you're ready to do that, you will always be a slave to the mind and the ego and to those that control you. If this message resonates, share the message. Don't share me. Share the message. Whether you're listening on BitChute, the 2 channels I have on BitChute, and remember, I can't interact with you on there. My email is in the description box for you on BitChute and Rumble and Brighteon and Odyssey and YouTube. If I can help. Oh, one more thing before I go. I had a few recent conversations with one of my listeners from Scotland. And he wanted to drive or to come down all the way from Scotland for me to do him a reading, because I've helped him so much via the telephone and this, that and the other. Shared stuff with him to empower, enlighten and enable him. I couldn't have him do that. Would have been nice, but I'm not that important. So I sent him, giving him the details of a female friend nearer him, a medium in Manchester. I've yet to hear from him as to whether the 4-hour drive from his home in Scotland to her home in Manchester is beneficial. I'm sure I will. I'm sure she's given him lots to think about. I've sent a few people to her before that are up that end of the country, and she's a lovely, lovely lady and full of love and integrity. And if you're up that end of the country and you need to see a medium, for whatever reason, email me and I'll give you her details. If you're down this end of the country and you want to see a medium, email me and I'll give you Barbara Allman's details. One of the finest mediums I've seen on this 40-year journey, which started in 1984 with seeing Chris Quenker. By far the finest medium I ever seen. And I had to wait to 2016 when I first met Barbara to meet somebody that truly matched Christine Quenker, and Barbara does. But I'll always do your reading and all if you want. If you're in my area or want to travel to me, I'll do your reading. But if you do go to mediums, and it includes me, includes the lady in Manchester, includes Barbara, if you do go to mediums or listen to mediums, then bloody question them. Just because they're standing there on a platform giving you a message doesn't mean to say it's right. Just because they're sitting on the internet, and many of them do it now and say, this is a general reading, they're going to hit somebody. Out of the 8 billion or so people in the world, they're going to hit somebody. Without a shadow of a doubt. And, question them. Question everything and everybody. Question me. Believe nothing, discount nothing, remember everything. Share this message. Share anything on my channel. Wherever you're listening to it, all of it is on BitChute. Everything I've ever done in the last 5 years or so is on BitChute. Odyssey, not so much, although next, Rumble, Brighteon, and then YouTube. But if it resonates, share it. Share the message. To you, listening, think about what I've said. Give it some thought. Don't give me any thought at all. I don't want to become somebody you follow and honour and this and the other. Honour the message that you hear from me. Honour that. Because my intention is pure when I speak here. And that is all I want you to do. Honour the message, honour the self. Palamia, thank you. In Lakesh, in you I see an enemy. Midakwe Yasin, we are all related, we are all relatives. And I tell you, we're all connected.